Good morning, welcome to another Make It Monday video for Paper Tray Ink. This is Danelle Flanders, and today we're going to be doing some ink blending over the top of heat embossing. So I've gone ahead first and cut an A2 size card front out of white cardstock, and I have a die here called You've Been Framed Oval, and I've cut one of those out of white also. This is going to get layered right over the top. And I'm starting with a Background Basics text style stamp set, and I like this little italic text here, and I'm going to stamp it in the upper left corner and the bottom right corners with some embossing ink, and this ink will help the embossing powder stick to the text. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this what would be underneath the little oval. I just want the embossing sort of in the corners of the card where it will peek out behind the flowers. So I'm going to stamp it twice and then add some embossing powder. Just shake the extra off, and then I'll go ahead and heat emboss. You can kind of see it here. And when you heat it up, it melts the powder and it kind of creates a resist. So I've gone ahead and done the same thing in the top left corner there. And I'm just going to check and make sure I have the placement right so it just peeks out behind the frame. Now I have an ink blending tool by Tim Holtz and Bright Buttercup ink by Paper Tray Ink. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of ink onto my pad and start swirling the ink onto the card front just over the top of the embossing. I love how the embossing resists the ink, and you can keep swirling and dabbing, grabbing a little bit more color and adding more just to get more of a depth of color. It's always good just to work in layers and just keep swirling and adding to get the right color that you're looking for. And it takes a little bit of patience, but the effect is well worth it. So when you add the frame back over the top, you can see how pretty that color really brings the embossing to life. Now I have the stamp set that goes with the frame called You've Been Framed Oval, and I have green parakeet ink. This is a new ink by Paper Tray Ink. Such a pretty color. And I'm going to just take one of the floral borders and just stamp a little bit above the oval and a little bit below the oval to kind of frame it out. I'll put one more right under here. And I like the addition of another color. So I'll go ahead and put that ink away, and now I have some flowers that I've die cut and stamped with Bloomin' Cute. This is a new stamp set that just came out this month, and I'm just placing the flowers, trying to figure out where I want everything to go before I stick them down. I've used tropical teal ink, Bright Buttercup, Summer Sunrise, Aqua Mist, and the green parakeet on the leaves. And here's the Bloomin' Cute stamp set. Such pretty flowers. And this is die cut with the Bloomin' Cute Sentiments die. And I'm just going to probably layer it right over the top of the flowers. I like to use score tape on the back of my flowers instead of glossy accents, just because the score tape will allow me to pick the flowers up and move them around a little bit easier than the glossy accents. The glossy accent seems to dry really quickly, and sometimes I like to move my flowers around a little bit. After I've stuck them down, I kind of look at it and think, oh, this flower should be moved over a little bit. And so the score tape kind of lets me move things around a little bit easier. So here's the finished card, and I did move the flowers around just a little bit, and I've added the hello over the top. And here you can see the embossing, the white embossing through the pretty ink blending. And I've added it to a green parakeet cardstock base. So I'll show you a little bit about my second card. I've gone ahead and used a little bit darker ink so you could see the embossing better. I've used Aqua Mist and ink blended it over the top of the embossing, and Tropical Teal with the You've Been Framed oval floral borders there. And I'm just going to stamp a few flowers with Lovely Lady and Pure Poppy for the center on this one. Then I think I'll do Pure Poppy on these two little berries, and this way I can achieve a visual triangle of red. And then with the other two flowers I'll add some other colors, maybe some lavenders. So I'm going to keep the design fairly the same as the first card, just maybe try some different colors here. So I have the other two flowers. I'm going to try Scarlet Jewel and Lavender Moon and see how that looks. So I think the smaller flower will be better in Scarlet Jewel because it's a little bit darker color and I don't want it to overtake the card too much. So I'll just stamp this one. That'll go somewhere around here. And then I'll try the larger flower in Lavender Moon ink. So I'll place this one right over here and kind of tuck it under. And then I felt like I needed a little bit more Scarlet Jewel because that flower kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. So I added a couple of little leaves in Scarlet Jewel. And here are the finished cards. You can see the pretty ink blending over the embossing. So your challenge for this Make It Monday is to try ink blending over heat embossing, and you can do a small portion of your card, a whole background of your card, or maybe just on your focal point. Have fun, and I can't wait to see what you'll make. Thanks for watching. Bye.